Bob won't mind if I borrow his mower.
Hey! Hey you! Get back here! That's mine!
Welcome to Mike's Gaming Gala. I'm Mike, and this week we're looking at Bovver for the Intellivision, published by Electronite. Bovver comes in a professionally printed gatefold box with a manual, 2 overlays, and a new injection molded cartridge. This is a fully licensed port of the Jeff Minter classic, and there's actually a really nice message from him in the manual about his history with the Intellivision. It was also one of the 2 choices made by my channel members for me to review this month. How was the game? Make sure to plug in your IntelliVoice and let's find out. After the splash screens, we get a title menu where we can select what level we want to start on, from 1 to 8, as well as your difficulty level. The default difficulty is easy, but pressing 3 on the number pad will change it to hard. You select the lawn to start on by pressing up and down with the disc. There are 16 levels in Bovver, but only the first 8 can be chosen as a starting point. When you have your settings the way you want them, press either 1 or 2 on the number pad to start a 1 or 2 player game. Then we get a little cutscene where you borrow a lawnmower. However, despite thoughts to the contrary, Jim does mind if you borrow his mower. Well, we have it now, so we might as well start mowing. In Bovver, you play as Englishman Gordon Bennett, trying to mow as many of the 16 different lawns as you can while evading your angry neighbor. Each level is a different lawn, and your goal will be to mow all the grass. In addition to the grass are hedges and flower gardens. Hedges block your path, but can be very useful in keeping your neighbor away. Flower beds are dangerous though. Running over even a single flower will piss off the gardener. If you harm his flowers, he'll join your neighbor in the chase, trying to take the mower away before you do any more damage, making the level much more difficult. Thankfully, you're not left to just run away on your own. You've got your trusty dog Rover with you. He's a good boy, and can help chase off anyone that's after you. He's also very well trained. He'll never run over flowers unless you've already mowed them. Now that we know the cast of characters, let's take a look at how to actually play. Let's start with the screen layout. Up top, taking up the vast majority of the screen, is the playfield. Underneath, though, is our status menu that has all the info we'll need in order to successfully complete each level. From left to right, we first have our dog loyalty scale, next to a heart icon. As long as this number is above 0, Rover will respond to your commands. By pressing the button on the side of your controller, you can sick him on your attackers and he will chase them barking. When you do though, this scale will tick down. Once it reaches 0, Rover won't listen to your commands anymore. The next number, beside a dog icon, is the dog tolerance scale. Rover is annoyed by the sound of your mowing, and this number indicates his patience. Consider this like a level timer. When this scale gets to 0, Rover will run after you and try to attack the mower, making it very difficult to do anything. Next, beside the lightning icon is your mower overload scale. Apparently, this model of Air Mow mower has some heat issues, and as you mow, it heats up. The faster you mow, the hotter it gets, and if you let this scale reach its maximum, you will be immobilized until the temperature drops. You can let your mower cool by standing still or by passing over areas that you've already mowed. Keeping an eye on this number might be the most important aspect to success in your gameplay. Next in line is your remaining lives, as represented by lawnmowers, and then your score. The controls are dead easy in Bovver. Move with the disc and command Rover with any action button. That's it. Really, this is simplicity at its best, but there are some definite challenges here that you may not be aware of at first. So yes, move your mower over all the grass parts of each lawn. Try to avoid the flowers, and press the button to have Rover chase off the neighbor and gardener if you need a little bit more room. There's one occurrence though that can threaten to end you faster than Usain Bolt running the 100-meter dash. Dogs like to roam around. Heaven forbid if you happen to hit Rover with your lawnmower, not only will your mower instantly overheat, causing you to freeze where you are, but the dog tolerance scale will plummet to 0. This means that man's best friend becomes your worst enemy. Thankfully, the loyalty scale isn't affected, so provided that it's still high enough, you can spam the button to try to keep Rover away. What really sucks is that sometimes that damn dog will just dart at you out of the blue. Annoying, as usually this ends badly. If at any point the neighbor or the gardener touch you, they'll take the lawnmower away from you and you'll lose a life. Thankfully, if this happens, there are a couple other neighbors that you can steal mowers from. Once you're caught 3 times though, it's game over. At the end of each stage, you get a screen telling you well done, and then any remaining dog loyalty is added to your score as a canine fidelity bonus, before moving on to the next stage. Lastly, let's look at a couple tips and tricks to help you out when you're playing. Learning the movement rules for all the characters involved is a huge help when you're under pressure. Sadly, Rover can be pretty random when not being sicked on people, so give him a wide berth when you can. Sometimes I just sick him on my neighbor to get him out of the way. Like I mentioned earlier, Rover won't run over the flowers, so if he's mad at you, there's a little protection for you there. Your neighbor is mad, so he doesn't care about the flowers. He'll take the shortest path towards you regardless of how things are laid out. So getting a hedge between you and him helps a lot. Thankfully, your neighbor is terrified of your dog, even when it isn't attacking. So in cases where there isn't a hedge to help, positioning yourself with Rover between you and the neighbor can also keep him at bay. If you run over a flower, the gardener enters the scene. This is a one-time event, so after the gardener has been unleashed, there's no additional penalty to running over the flowers. Go nuts. The gardener respects his artistry though, so he won't cross the flowers unless you've carved a path through them. The bad side here is that he's not scared of your dog, unless you sick him on your pursuers. Speaking of which, when you sick Rover, both the neighbor and the gardener run away from you, regardless of where the dog is. Use this short reprieve to get to places that they've been hanging around in. During gameplay, if you need a break, pressing 3 on the number pad pauses the game. Also, if you get tired of the music, you can press 1 to turn it off, leaving just the sound effects of the game. Don't forget to have your Intellivoice plugged in to hear all the great voices throughout this one. And no, none of them are me. If you're playing the game on hard mode, both the dog loyalty and tolerance scales will deplete much faster. If you make it to level 16 and beat it, the game starts over with the speed ramped up, making it more difficult to avoid the flowers and dodge your pursuers. Rover takes off like a rocket though, so at least there's that. Once you lose your 3rd mower, it's game over, and if you have a high score, you'll be prompted to enter your name for eternal lawn care glory. And that's Hover Bovver for the Intellivision. So what did I think? While it's not the most impressive looking game, this was released in 2018, but programming started much earlier, the gameplay itself more than makes up for that. Like I said earlier, this is simplicity at its best. Hover Bovver is kind of a joy to play. There's no trying to remember controls or panicking and pressing the wrong thing, just pure lawn mowing. That may not sound exciting, but it's really fun. Jeff Minter games are always a bit odd, and I love it. If you haven't tried this one, I highly recommend it. You'll be surprised at how fun and addictive it can actually be. Thank you for watching my video, I hope you liked it, and thank you so much to my channel members who chose this one for me to review. I appreciate the support so much. As always, my contact info is in the description, and we'll see you next time on Mike's Gaming Gala.